Hi. So sorry about this morning. I was going to go over the practice problems for anybody who is still having trouble with word problems or whatever. So just as a review, the stuff we did the first half of the week was transformations. So first off, we know that this one is decay. Oops. Decay because the number with the exponent is less than 1. As far as transformations go, the -2 moves it right 2. The -1 moves it down 1. For domain, it's going to be all real numbers because that's always the case with exponentials. And for my range, everything's going to be above this asymptote right here, which is at -1. So I'm going to say y's are greater than -1. Remember not to put the or equal to sign because we never actually touch the asymptote. It just gets really close to it, I guess, if that makes sense. Okay. So I'm trying to never mind. Okay. So as far as writing equations, I need my A and my B, and that'll set me up to do my y equals for my equation. So the A is the y-intercept, which in this case is 2. Then I look for other points that cross at like the corner of a box, because then it's like a whole number, not a decimal. And so I go from 2 to 3, nope, to 6 to 18. And so B is asking, like, what are you multiplying by each time as you go up? And in this case, we are multiplying by 3. So that makes my equation 2 times 3 to the x power. Okay, so for the model for word problems, that's going to be this formula. So I've got y equals a times 1 plus or minus r to the x power. So it's very similar to a times b to the x. We just make the b a little bit more complicated. The reason why it's plus or minus is because we can have exponential growth or decay. So it's either going to be bigger than 1 or less than 1, depending on, what's happening. So our A is our initial amount. That looks like I spelled it wrong, but I don't think I did. So however much you're starting with. So just like, a y-intercept is usually considered a starting point. Like this is our starting point. What are we starting with? Our R is our rate, which is a percent that we are going to transform into a decimal, because to use a percent, in general, you need to transfer it to a decimal. And the way to do that is to divide by 100, or you could just think of it like dollars and cents, like percent means per 100. So my cat's just gone. So you can think of it like change, like 5% is like a nickel, like 0.05. Fine, I didn't want to pitch him anyway. So the other thing just to keep in mind is x is usually time, because we're looking at things over time. All right, so I have 2 examples. A town with a population of 5,000 grows 3% per year. Write an equation to model this and find the population at the end of 10 years. So my initial amount is 5,000. My rate is 3%, which as a decimal, 3% is like 3 cents, 0.03. Or like I said, you could just divide by 100. Okay, so to model it, I'm going to do 5,000 times 1, and since it grows, that'll be exponential growth, right? So plus 0.03 to the x power, which is the same thing as just 5,000 times 1.03. To figure out what it is after 10 years, I just plug in 10 for x. So I'm going to go to the calculator. Oh, look, I already typed it in. I'll do it. 5,000 times 1.03 to the 10th power. Enter. It's 6719. I'm not going to include the decimal because we're talking about people. And why would you count 0.5 of a person? That doesn't make sense. So anyway, 6719 and 10 years. It's pretty steady growth. Anyway, okay, other example. A woman makes an investment of $4,500 and the investment loses 13.5% each year. That is a pretty hefty loss. What a horrible way to invest your money. And she left it in there for 8 years. She's going to have like no money left. Man. Bummer for this lady. But anyway, my initial amount is $4,500. And my rate is 13.5 or 0.135%, like 13.5%. So to model it, I'm going to write y equals 4,500. And this time, since it loses it, that's going to be going down. So I'm going to do 1 minus 0.135 to the x power, which is basically 4,500 times 1 minus 0.865. So to figure out how much money she's got left, which isn't going to be much, I'm going to plug in 8 for x. That's an ugly x. Oh, right, 8. X 8. All right, so 4,500 times 0.865 to the 8th equals 14,1039. Look at how much money she lost. That's horrible. Anyway, okay, ouch. So, there you go. That's the practice problems. If you have questions, let me know. I can meet with you on Friday. Otherwise, I will see you next week, and I hope you have a great weekend.